Yeah.
So if you have 4 spots in one night in New York City and they all go great, and the last one you bomb, you go home sad, right?
Yep.
If you bomb the first 3 and the last one goes great, you go home happy. So in Ireland, you got 6 weeks. So if you bomb, you're just fucking miserable for 6 weeks, just waiting around.
All right, here we go. We're here, baby boy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Robert Patton Global Podcast. I'm here with Colum Tyrrell.
Yeah, close enough, dude. Yeah, you crushed it.
Tyrrell. You say like
Tyrrell, yeah. It's not easy to be said.
I mean, because there's a Y, but then you pronounce it Tyrrell. I heard you say it, and so then it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just the accent, I guess. You know, I have a feeling like the next generation will be Tyrell. Whether I like it or not, it will be Tyrell.
Yeah, that's a very common name among the African American community, Tyrell.
Yeah, my uncle, his name was Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Actually. Would you believe that? Tyrone Tyrell, the most Irish guy you've ever met.
You're clearly from Ireland. I was listening to some of your stuff. Super funny. If you guys have not listened to Colum here, YouTube, Google him, and first few minutes I was already laughing. Like,
good. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you were a hoot. You're cracking me up. Well, because I mean, English, British, Ireland, that Scottish, like that whole, if you have an accent in America, that helps for whatever reason.
It does, for sure.
You kind of sound a little bit like Conor McGregor. Yeah. Which doesn't hurt because, he's known for like his clever, witty remarks. And then you were just the little zingers. I was listening to you with Zach Attack, and it was just
good, man. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
No, and well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for humoring me. This little podcast that I have here. It's an underwear company.
I checked it out. I saw you had Lewis on last week. Did you?
That's great. It was a couple of weeks ago. That was him and Michael Malice, not Bridget Fedesi. But anyways, I want to get Bridget on. But they were kind enough to join me on this show. I mean, I interviewed the UFC champion of the world, Brandon Moreno.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty cool. He stopped off at a diner, but he's not the champion anymore. Do you follow the UFC much?
Yeah, a bit here and there, not as much as I'd like to. It's difficult because it's on the weekends with comedy.
Oh, right. Yeah, and you're traveling and stuff.
Yeah. Usually Saturday nights I have shows and things like that. I'm pretty busy, but I'm going to try do something. I'm trying to start a UFC stream with New York comedians, kind of similar to what Brendan Schaub does with the LA guys. I want to try doing New York version. So first time we tried to do it, there was an issue with the tech. The tech couldn't work, and then we're just waiting to reschedule the next one. So this Saturday is going to be huge.
Yeah. It's Gagey versus Oliveira and
Chandler.
Chandler. Ferguson, yes.
Yeah, and then Rose. Rose is fighting. I don't remember the girl who she's fighting, but it's
she was the big. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I watch them like every weekend. This past weekend was Rob Font versus Chito Vera, and they were saying Rob Font's face was falling off. Michael Bisping was like, his face is falling off because it was just so mangled.
Yeah, I never saw the fight, but I saw some stats were posted by people on Twitter, just about where how much his head. Because they show the body, the color of the body to show where the punches were landed, and his fucking head was just a big tomato, and the rest of his body was never even hit once. It's just his face was just cracked.
It was nasty, but very entertaining. Typically, I don't like a one-sided fight, but it wasn't really one-sided. It was back and forth. Just Chito was really bringing it to him, and Chito cried at the end because he just put in his whole soul into training, into being the best fighter he can be. I listened to him on Rogan. I've listened to him with Bisping, and he doesn't drink. He goes to bed at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. 10 a.m.
Wow.
And he just, if you want to be the best, you got to sacrifice.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all discipline, right?
Yeah.
You never hear of anyone achieving that without that sort of crazy mindset, right?
the obsession.
Yeah, it's just crazy obsession, even with comedy. And I guess art can be a little bit different because you can't work too hard, because then what happens is you're in the wrong mind space. But it's still the same. Like all these guys I hear of, Louis and Burr and all, they're all just they're crazy nut jobs, you know?
Yeah, I love Louis, love Burr. I just heard Louis on Shane Gillis's podcast. I'd never heard him on a podcast, and they were just talking about history. They were doing like the history of the presidents.
Yeah, I never got around to watching it, but I must check that out.
Yeah, that was a good one. But, you know, this is about you. Thank you again for coming on here. And
Great, yeah.
You're making, you're in that circle of New York comedians, the dirty comics that I like, the edgy comedians.
Yeah, all the edgelords.
Yeah, you're riding it. You're riding
the alt-right edgelords. That's what we are. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all the racists and
the racists and the bigots. And
hey, yeah,
that's my crew.
I love them, and I love. Thank you. You had reached out, and I really appreciate you. And so now I kind of know more about you, but I want to talk and let the people know, because you're still coming up. You're like an up and comer, right?
I hope so. Yeah. I don't know how many years they can keep saying that, but
Oh, has it been a few years?
I guess so. I started in Ireland back in 2011. Then I moved to New York in 2014, and then I think I started kind of getting somewhat noticed maybe in 2019.
Wow.
Maybe, So, and then it's just through podcasts, just like doing the Real Ass podcast. I did that.
Hell yeah.
And because I did that a lot, then people booked me on their other podcasts, and then I did Skanks, and then slowly but surely it's sort of just, now I am where I am, where I'm hoping things pop off soon enough.
No, I think, and you're in the right crowd. They say that the 5 people you hang out with the most is kind of who you become or whatever, right?
Oh, is that what they say? Yeah, okay, cool.
It's some kind of phrase like that. You are a like a mixture of the 5 people you hang out with the most, and so you want to hang out with people who are doing what you want to do, right?
Yeah, that's what I need to force people to be my friend. And yeah, I should be hanging out with these guys more.
Yeah. Like Louis J and all that whole crew. I think that's, in my opinion, I don't know. They're on the rise of comedy.
The Skanks are the best. Yeah. The Skanks are great.
Absolutely. So you started in 2011? No. 11?
Yeah, 2011, I think, or maybe 2010. I think it was 2011. I did my first open mic in Ireland.
Why?
I just decided to start doing it. I actually wanted to do it when I was like 15 years old, and I wrote like a little thing, and in my mind I said I'll write, because I only ever saw stand up on TV as a full hour, so I just thought that's all they did. I didn't know there was any other steps.
Right.
I thought you're just Chris Rock. That was it. There wasn't this beginning.
Right.
So I said I'd write an hour, and I said to myself, what I'd do is I'd write like a different story every night, and then at the end of the year or whatever, I'd have this thing of. So I did it the first night, and then the second night I reread the previous night's story, and I was like, oh, this is shit. This is the worst fucking crap I've ever heard in my life. But then I just stopped doing it.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then years later, so I was about 20 or 21, I thought I'd get him. I started learning about open mics and shit like that. So I said I'd give it a go. And I always figured even if I couldn't do comedy, I would get involved with either running the events or something. So I did one open mic and it went well. And then I just kept doing more open mics. And now here I am, just still fucking going. Yeah.
You must have gotten a decent response and to get that motivation to keep going.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I just never stopped doing it. That's kind of it. No one's ever succeeded in it who stopped. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that was kind of, I just kept doing it, and it's kind of, hopefully things are bubbling up now. But who knows?
It takes a while. They say it took 10 years to become an overnight success.
The entertainment industry, it's crazy. I know some of the most talented people I know just can never quite crack it for some reason. Then I know people who are the least funniest people I've ever met who are on TV all the time. So you sort of just don't know. It's just a weird industry, and you got to just try and enjoy it, I guess. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. I mean, because like you said, nobody ever succeeded that quit. Once you quit, it's over. And I actually I did my first open mic around 2011.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
great.
I was in San Antonio, and a buddy of mine, he comes on here with me, Steven. He does my live streams with me on Fridays, and he was doing comedy. And, I'm listening to Rogan and just whatever made me. And I also kind of thought it was about to be the end of the world. I'm kind of whatever, susceptible to foolishness. And they were talking about
the Mayan
Yep.
thing. Is that you thought it was on the end of the world because of that?
I didn't know. I was like, maybe. So if it's going to be the end of the world, let me go do this shit.
And that was your last thing, was to do an open mic?
I guess, or to not be afraid to try something.
Wow, I would have done some crimes. I would have been like the Purge, dude.
Yeah, that would have been more exciting, probably.
I would have to apologize to a lot of people when that didn't happen.
Yeah, you'd be like, I totally thought. My bad.
So
Oopsie.
I stole your Ferrari and I ran over a few people, and I want to apologize.
It won't happen again.
Yeah,
this is a one-time miscalculation from the Mayans. We'll blame the Mayans.
Yeah. So how did the mic go? It
went. My very first open mic went well. I told this story about how I hit myself with my own car, which was the last pizza I ever delivered. And it's a true story.
Oh wow!
So I was like, I'm not. It's hard to. Anyways, it's hard to retell stories once you've told it a bunch of times. But
oh yeah, I hear you.
And that's kind of why I got out of it, in the sense I was like, oh, so you just have to retell the same jokes over and over again.
Yeah, it's a pain.
It was weird to me, but now I think I would be cool with it. But at the time, I couldn't wrap my mind around it. But now I feel like it's like acting. It's rehearsing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I try to avoid it because it does kill me repeating stuff, and then it gets very stale for me and the audience because it gets very wooden. But there's a lot of discipline in that sense. Some people are much better at it than I am. I see people do it the exact same word for word every night, no matter what, and I think that's crazy. Like I'm envious of how they can do it like that. I can't really do it like that. I gotta try to create something, otherwise it's weird,
It is weird. It's like I have to have a genuine response to this story I've told 1,000 times. Especially to the same people, at least if it's a new audience.
Oh, yeah.
That would help.
Yeah, I see people at the same clubs all the time. There's a few people, I know a couple that will sit in the front row at the Stand Comedy Club all the time, and I see them all the time, so they can hear me doing the same shit all the time. I feel like such a fraud,
Yeah, but it's still... And then there was other comedians who were like, I thought it would be this community of cool, helping each other out, kind of whatever, but they were all bitter and
oh really?
Yeah, kind of talking shit and not really being open to newcomers, because they didn't want someone else to maybe take the spotlight or whatever.
Yeah, in San Antonio, I imagine the scene is probably more friendly because there's less people. But when you get up to big places like the cities, they hate that shit. Yeah, there's no group, there's no cool kids over here.
No, it's like dog eat dog type of.
I think so. Yeah, I've always experienced it like that. It's too big. You don't have enough time to make friends with everyone because there's thousands of people doing it, and they start and then they stop, and
Yes.
Yeah, and it's better when you're professional, though, I think.
Well, yeah, and you've broken through. I mean, 10 years later, you're part of the scene now, and I don't know. I feel maybe you've been accepted, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I still don't feel like I have, so but maybe that could be me. That could be
right.
But I just think a lot of that stems from the fact that people are they're worried and insecure that it's not going to work. And then once it does work out, everyone starts to realize that you're better off being friends rather than the opposite.
And there's more than enough to go around, kind of,
Kinda, yeah, even that, I know comedians, it's not like even comedians that are successful, they might only be able to do it for 20 years. And then they have to go sell cars. Or, you can have albums and specials and tour for 20 years, just doing weekends at clubs, and by the time you're 60, you're back to selling cars.
Wow, that's
You know,
bananas.
that's a success. That's a successful comedian.
Right.
Fucking crazy doing this shit. Stupid.
There's risk, but you're branching out. You're doing your podcast, which that seems to be helping a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. The podcast and the success of the podcast and then the videos on YouTube, that changed everything, really.
Yeah, it's letting people see your personality, get to know you, and because you got like 5 minutes, 15 minutes at these open, like the spots you do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do. Yeah, 15 minutes.
It's hard to connect, maybe.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it's a slow build. Building stand-up is a slow build, I guess.
But you're doing, yeah. Well, I don't know. From what I've seen, you're making moves in the right direction now. I feel like.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm a good judge of comedy, and I guess everyone probably thinks that, right? But,
yeah, every single person thinks they're good.
But if you look at the people we sponsor, like Mark Norman, Tim Dillon, Ari Shafir, Joe List, all the Skank guys, I know comedy, baby, and you got it.
Yeah, you do have a fucking. If you could get all those on a lineup, dude, you need to do SHEATH Fest.
Oh shit!
SHEATH Fest. Get them all there. It'll cost you a lot,
but maybe we can make a lot in the process.
You could do, SHEATH Fest would be great, and then everyone gets little underwear.
Yeah, we went to Skankfest and handed out underwear. You were at Skankfest.
Yeah.
And we missed each other. I'm
sure we met.
Yeah.
At one point, we're meeting so many people.
Yeah. Well, sure. You're going to be in Vegas.
I'm going to Vegas. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are too. So we'll definitely.
Hell yeah! Get me one of those hats. They look sick.
Thank you.
I like that.
It's not even out yet, and so I wanted to wear it for the podcast so people can
dude, well, send one over to the studio, will you? Because I'll wear that for sure on the podcast.
I got you. Yeah, I'm loving the podcast, and so you started in Ireland, and why did you start again?
I had a job that I didn't like, and then it sounds corny, but I heard an expression about, like, if you find a job you'll love, you'll never work a day in your life. Right?
Yeah.
It's so sad to say that out loud. It's so gay.
It's true, though. It's totally gay, but it's also very true.
And I figured I had already decided that I couldn't be a stand-up comedian, so I figured maybe I'll work with stand-up comedians and work in comedy. Maybe I'll run events. And I figured if I'm going to do that, I should do an open mic to understand what they think and what they're going through. So if I'm running events, that I can connect with the actual performers. So then I just did an open mic and it went great. And then I was like, oh, fuck that. I'm not going to be one of the performers. And then that was it.
Awesome. Yeah. So it did go well.
Yeah, it went well enough. Yeah. But in Ireland, it's crazy because you do an open mic. It takes you like 6 weeks. You email the guy to do the open mic and he goes, okay, come here in 6 weeks. So you gotta wait 6 weeks to do the show. And an open mic in Ireland, it's 10 euros for a ticket, which is like, $10 for a ticket. It's not free. And if there's less than 12 people, the show gets canceled. So you show up, it's a proper show, and it's in a bar, and there's 30, 40 people there, and they've all paid in money. And then you do 8 minutes. So it's like a show.
Wow.
And then it went well. So they go, okay, come back in 6 weeks and do it again. So then for 6 weeks, you're just sitting around waiting for another open mic.
Well, that gives you plenty of time to prepare, I guess.
I guess. But the problem is if it... Oh, and then they'd say come back in 4 weeks. It would get like less and less as it got better. But comedians will know, whatever your last show tends to hang over you, right? Yeah. So if you have 4 spots in one night in New York City and they all go great and the last one you bomb, you go home sad, right?
Yep.
If you bomb the first 3 and the last one goes great, you go home happy. So in Ireland, you got 6 weeks. So if you bomb, you're just fucking miserable for 6 weeks, just waiting around for a new thing. And then you end up writing a lot of jokes, because I think for my first 10 or 20 open mics, I did like a new 8 minutes every single time. Every single time, because I was just writing new stuff, because it's like it was like I wrote that 3 months ago. So why haven't you want to say that now, especially when you're a brand new open micer? You just want to say every single thing.
Mm-hmm. How do you come up, this is silly, with material?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It just sometimes something makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Podcast is good for little things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll tweet things in the moment and then go, maybe there's something in that. I really don't know. Just sometimes it'll just happen. I've never sat down and wrote like a new thing. It just like it's kind of I don't have that brain.
Right.
I'm not a writer.
Do you know Mark Norman and Joe List at all, or have you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know the boys. Yeah, we're not like friends, but like I know them.
Because they do the Tuesdays with Stories, and they're constantly like riffing and ooh, that's something, and
yeah.
So yeah, I think the podcast is a great place for testing, or just you're talking and then shit comes out. You're loose.
Yeah, I think most of Bill Burr's specials they can all be traced back to a different episode in his podcast. Nearly all the jokes that he does that end up there, it's just him ranting and raving on his podcast, and eventually.
Yeah,
that's just the way it happens. You know what I mean? Oh.
Yeah, he's a special one because he can just like start yelling at people and then it's funny.
Oh, yeah, he's great. Yeah, he has a new one coming out soon, actually, as far as I know. He has a new special coming out.
I want to watch the he was on like SNL, and he's been on every single Adam Sandler movie. The white dude.
Schneider, is it?
Schneider. No, it's just the other dude. He's got blonde hair.
Oh, David Spade. Yeah, he just released a special.
Yeah, I want to. I saw like a little clip on Netflix. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that'll be that. He's always funny. I really enjoy him.
I don't know anything about his career. I think he probably started doing stand up and then did SNL and stopped and acted, and now he's back doing stand up again or something. That's what I imagine.
And he seems just very like rational and like a normal person. He's not like this crazy left weirdo. So I like just hearing people talk, and it's not nonsense or whatever. It's like comedy, not
it's just whatever. Adam Sandler's special was great. I don't know if he has two now, but the first special that he released was so much fun.
That was a
lot of fun. Yeah, for someone who's like as successful as he is, and he just came out with his guitar and made silly jokes.
Yes,
and it was relatable too, because even though he's like probably a billionaire, I don't know how much he's worth. He's probably worth a billionaire, is he?
Serious? Yeah, probably half a bill.
Yeah, yeah. But like, and then he's but he still just does jokes about forgetting his phone or whatever. Like he leaves the house and forgot his phone. Like it's he's relatable. I like Adam Sandler a lot.
Oh my God. Yes, he's the best. He is a legend. You got it going on. You remind me a little bit of
thanks, sister.
Yeah. Hey, are you an actor also?
No, I'm terrible at acting. The worst actor. I've always been meaning to do lessons and stuff. I just never got around to doing it. I'm just a bad actor. As soon as people are like, "Go act," I'm just like, what? I just fucking freak out or something. I don't know what it is.
That is weird, because you would think that if you're going to freak out, you'd freak out on.
No, the stage is simple. You know what? If someone just said, "Be myself," and say the things exactly how I would want to do it, I imagine I could act if I was writing the stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing.
I think that's what a lot of comedians do, is they play themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I still, I don't know. Someone said that to me before. I still struggle to do that, I guess. It's hard for me to play myself if someone else wrote the words, you know?
Yes.
It's just weird. I get very like, hello.
Did you know that your bio says that you're like a writer, comedian, actor, director?
Of course it says that shit. Yeah, everyone's a bit of everything. You post a video on TikTok, you're all of those things now.
Yeah, that's true.
It says philanthropist too. I've never given anyone $1 in my life.
You got to help out the poor people. They need your help.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you? You're doing an Irish brewery tour? Is that true?
Oh, we used to do that. Yeah. We had a tour. You're just looking at a website that I haven't updated since 2017, pretty much. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, we used to go tour around. It was just me and some other Irish comedians would like rent out or contact breweries and then go do a couple of shows with them. You know,
just hustling.
Yeah, that was very popular for a while actually. Before COVID, there was a lot of breweries had a lot of entertainment and people would do a whole tour. So we were just hitting them up ourselves and doing things like that. But I never got back into it after the
lockdowns.
After the lockdowns. Yeah, well, things were kind of kicking off so that I could actually get into the clubs. So I don't need to be in a field anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
the drive-in theater and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm in the club. So I have someone supposedly working on my website, but I'm glad that you've given me all this stuff. So now I need to update it a lot.
That's funny. That's cool though. So what did you do? How did you get by with COVID? Did you just stay home, or how did you?
Yeah, I just stayed home for most of it. Yeah, and then I was I was boozing hard.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was just a spontaneous. I wasn't old or fat, or never had lung cancer, so I was like, this is fine. This is nothing for me. And then it felt like a random vacation, you know.
Yeah.
And everyone thought, like, I thought it was I honestly was like, this will be a week or two, it'll be great. So I was just at home making cocktails every night, drinking IPAs, just getting fucking leathered. and then the 2 weeks turned to like 4 weeks, and then next thing you know, it's a big fat swollen alcoholic head, and I gained 40 pounds, and I was a big fat boy.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you just stop drinking or just slow down?
Yeah, I slowed down a whole lot. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't leaving the house or anything either. So once I started leaving the house again, that helped.
Yeah.
Calories and everything, you know. But yeah, it's funny. It's because there was never an official like, all right, COVID's over, right? It was sort of just slowly came back in, but there was a very official. It started, but there wasn't an over. So I don't know exactly when it stopped, but
the Ukraine war is when it stopped.
Yeah, it was,
right.
I think it was the second Will Smith slapped Chris Rock's head.
Yeah.
He decided, all right, that's it now. All right, we're done.
Yeah, you kind of look like Zelensky a little bit.
I get that a lot. I swear everyone comments on Twitter and everything. I don't even. Does he look horrible? Does he?
No, everyone thought he was like a fucking Times Man of the Year and shit there for a minute. You should do a skit on him.
There was a couple of days when everyone goes, wow, he was like fucking Andrew Cuomo for a little bit. Like just everyone at first, wow, he's the best. And then slowly but surely people start going, actually, he did this, you know?
Yeah, Cuomo sexual. That was so
Yeah,
good.
Cuomo, I'm telling you this much, and I'm usually wrong about everything, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing was when Cuomo was the guy in charge during COVID, I day one, I said, fuck this guy. I hated him. I hated that all the women liked him. I hate that he was hogging the press conferences. Yeah. I hated his fucking allegories about his mother's fucking spaghetti, right? I hated every single thing. I knew he was just making it about himself. I hated his nipple rings. The fact that all the women were like, oh, I love this guy. Women have terrible instincts. So if they're all flocking towards something, you got to go the opposite direction. That's a fact. And then he would go on TV and him and his brother would be roasting. A little bit of a ribbing while cunts were dying everywhere and they weren't doing anything to help anyone.
Right.
And he's killing all these old people and old folks. Meanwhile, him and his brother are like, mother said I'm the favorite son. Oh, really? Well, I'm better at baseball. You have two of you can go fuck yourself. And where are they now? They're gone. Out.
The truth comes out eventually.
They'll be back. You can't listen. I almost respect them. The fucking sleazeball hustle of the Cuomo family. Like it's ingrained in their DNA. They'll be back.
Yeah, they'll muscle their way back into.
They'll figure out a way. These guys, when they get in, they won't get out. It's the game. They know the game. Everyone
gets canceled. Not everyone, but the people that get canceled.
Anyone worth their salt gets canceled. Telling you.
Yeah. Well, they get to cut. Some get to come back.
They all get to come back. Who hasn't come back? Cosby? I'm sure he could do a fucking tour right now and dude sell out the Beacon Theater.
Yeah, wouldn't he though? Because everyone would be like, "What's that?"
It'd be interesting. I'd go.
Oh fuck yeah, I'd go. I'd be like, "What is this guy? What's he gonna say?" You know, I want to hear the
what
person.
What he do?
The mind of a madman. You know.
Yeah, he's talking about prison food or whatever.
Yeah, putting dudes to sleep.
Yeah,
doing them while they're sleeping. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a guy called Killer Jim. Or whatever.
I put him to sleep.
Yeah, you never want to go to the D-Wing. D-Wing with Killer Jim and Arian John.
Arian John.
Yeah.
Have you been to? You sound like the pen a little bit. Have you been arrested?
No, but I fear it. I've been arrested, I guess, a few times, but never like locked up. Really, it was more back in Ireland during my youth. Just get like shown in jail for whatever misdemeanor bullshit.
Yeah,
the usual stuff. Yeah. What did you do? Just fight?
So arrested. First one, I guess, was felony possession of cocaine. But it was a tiny little bit. It was so tiny.
Okay, yeah.
But I had a lot, but they only caught me with a little bit.
Oh, what do you mean? So you had taken a lot, you mean?
No, I was distributing.
Okay, but they only caught you with a little bit.
Tiny little bit. So,
and then they searched your car or something because of it?
I'll tell you. So I was coming home from the dentist, and the dentist was like 2 blocks from my apartment, and I had a motorcycle, and I was riding my motorcycle from the dentist to my apartment, and it was like traffic on the road. So I was like, let me just hop on the sidewalk here. You're not allowed to ride the motorcycle on the sidewalk. But I was riding it on the sidewalk, and I see out of the corner of my eye like this white unmarked car do like a U-E, and I'm like, fuck. So I pull into my apartment complex, get off the motorcycle, run in the apartment, and I think I'm in the clear. But he just pulled into my apartment complex and started knocking on all the doors, and there wasn't that many. There was only like 12 units. So he gets to my whatever, and he's knocking for a long time, and I'm like, fuck, do I answer? Do I not answer? I got all this shit in here. And eventually, I called my dealer. This is crazy. I was like, what do I do? He's like, just go answer the door, and and just deal with it. Get your ticket. Just get a ticket, right? Yeah. So I opened the door, and he was like, was that you riding your motorcycle on the sidewalk? And I was like, yeah, it was me. He was like, can I see your helmet? And he tricked me, motherfucker. So I walk inside. I was like, yeah, no problem. I was going to go grab my helmet because it was like a bright yellow helmet. And he follows me in. He followed me in. Like, that's amigo, right? It was so fucked up. If I should have said, I should have walked out and shut the door. Yeah. Anyone out there, walk out, shut the door behind you, maybe lock it even.
You're allowed to walk in if it's open. Is that the rule?
Yeah, basically. But here's what he did that was even more fucked up, because that shouldn't have been too big of an issue. But I had a little coffee table. Sorry, Mom and everyone. But anyway, I had a little coffee table, and I had a little wooden box on the coffee table. He just takes the lid right off he was like, and there was weed in there. And he was like, what's this? And I was like, okay. And from that point on, he got like a search warrant or whatever happened.
Oh, he was able to go out and get a search warrant because of it.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he ended up doing that, but he like called for backup. And at that point, I didn't know my rights. I was like 19. I was all spun out on coke.
Of course, yeah.
I wasn't thinking clearly. I was riding my motorcycle on the sidewalk. So
listen, you gave him. You put your hand out to be slapped.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that one.
Yeah, I handed it to him like a cookie, like candy to a baby. It was just, but it was probably for the best, honestly, because I was going down like a dead end road, doing coke, selling coke, like probably wasn't going to end well. And it had only been like 6 months, so it wasn't like. I got in and out pretty quick,
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And this was jail? They put you in jail?
I did 4 months. They sentenced me to 6 months. I only did 4 months in a detention center in the middle of Georgia. Have you been to Georgia?
No.
No? It's hot as fuck. It's hot. Okay. And like most of the guys, and it was like half and half. Georgia's like half black and half white, basically. Yeah. And so I was in jail with like a bunch of big black dudes. Yeah. And then a bunch of meth heads, a bunch of meth head white dudes. Yeah. And but it was cool. Everyone was relatively cool to me. I mean, I got picked on a little bit, but like the black guys liked me. Some didn't like me, but most of them did. And
what was the picking? Did they fucking steal your dessert? They stole your Jello?
this little fat white dude, he stole my like Tang or something. He like broke into my little locker and stole it, and it was like this whole thing. I was like,
Tang,
"Who fucking did it?"
the Caribbean drink.
Yeah.
Wow, you had that?
That was my like prized possession. You know, like you get money on your books and you can buy stuff from the commissary, and that was the one thing that I had that I had been waiting for, or whatever. You know, you get very
You're
little
drinking
treats.
Tang.
I was living large, baby.
I can't believe that they even supply that.
We had ramen noodles, like Tang, cigarettes, and like a couple other little candy bars and shit.
Yeah. Nice. That's crazy. Wait, and were you scared of shit going in there?
You're numb. You're just like you're just like this is. It's like going to war. I've been to war. I've been into jail.
Yeah.
You can't really be scared because you're like on your way there and you're just going through it. Yeah.
Wow. Shit.
It was nice getting out though. That was nice. I remember that. My mom picked me up and I was just like, I think I kissed the ground when I walked out, and
like a movie.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
what was your first thing? Straight to your friend's house, fucking coke, back on the bag?
A blunt. I went straight to my friend's house and we smoked a blunt, but no, didn't do the coke. I've done it a couple times since then. Like the last time I ever even thought about it, it was presented to me and I was like, I tasted it and I was like, yep, that's coke. And I was like, I'm not, and I never talked to that dude again because I'm like, I can't get back involved with this shit.
Yeah, you can't. Like, why did the camera go blurry there? Look.
There you are.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Good stuff. Do you stay in contact with these people from jail?
Nah, you think you're going to because you bond, and then you kind of do for a little while, but you just move on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna be friends forever, you know.
Yeah, when I get out, it was all like a whole lot of. When I get out, was it?
We're gonna start a new.
We'll start a shrimp fucking factory, a shrimping business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna move. We're gonna start over. It's
gonna
be the best. Yeah. Have you ever done any drugs?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of. Yeah. Is that the word? I'm a big fan of drugs. They're like them all. The only one you know what I haven't done? There's a lot I haven't done actually. I've never done. I don't think I've done any like opiates really.
Good.
I did kratom. Does that count?
That's good.
I didn't feel that, and I think that's a fucking placebo, is it? It's like CBD.
A little. It's a thing. It's very subtle.
I want to do heroin. I haven't yet. I've been too busy.
Yeah, you gotta take a break.
And then I guess it's like, what's like angel dust and that shit? What's that?
PCP.
Yeah, I've never done that one.
Yeah, me either.
Well, I don't even know what it is. It's like crushed up speed, is it, or something?
No, it's some sort of hallucinogen. It's just
is it?
Yeah, it's like you think you're the devil, or I don't know. Honestly,
wow,
I have no idea what it is. PCP.
But yeah, all right. Well, before the year is out, I'll cross them off my list. I'll do heroin and do PCP. They'll cancel each other out. And then I've done like smoked DMT.
How was that?
Good. Yeah, I've done it so many times. It's like there's been some of them are good, some of them are bad. Sometimes you blast off, sometimes you don't. It's
right. Okay, you know what the deal is.
Situation. I'd like to go down to Peru and do the ayahuasca and like do a proper retreat, but it's like not easy to organize it. Why, you don't want to do that? Have you done it?
I did. I'm in Colorado, and it was presented to me to do this ayahuasca retreat, and I was like, all right, let me go do it. Right. So I went. Yeah. And it was in Bailey, Colorado. I was in this tiny room, 1-bedroom kind of like apartment with 18 other people. There was a shaman and his helper, and we all had puke buckets.
Yeah.
And most of the night was everyone throwing up, and you hearing everyone throwing up. So you throw up. Yeah. And then you have to go empty your throw up bucket into this other throw up bucket.
Oh, so there's a communal throw up bucket?
A communal throw up bucket.
How much are we talking here? Like, are we talking like a fucking, like a big
trash can? A big,
like full of puke. Like it's full. Puke.
Yeah, we all had our own little ones, and then you dumped the little one. It was so bad.
And are you tripping during this time? At this time, are you tripping or no?
No, like
yeah.
I drank it. We all drank it, and like nothing good is happening. The whole night goes by, didn't trip at all. The next morning, we're supposed to do our next session, and I'm like, I don't even want to fucking do this shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get out of here. Fuck this. And but I talked to the shaman. He was like, just do one more and see if you like it, whatever. And I was like, fine. So I took one more. I did trip a little bit, but it was like just seeing swirly stuff. It wasn't like this introspective awakening, growth. I didn't have any of that shit. And I ended up leaving. However, I don't want to like discourage anyone from doing it. Maybe do whatever calls to you. Maybe it'd be better in Peru, but in this particular instance, it was like a bad brew, and I would just.
Where was it? Was it in Colorado?
Yeah, it was.
That's I wouldn't. Someone's invited me to one in Florida too. They say it's the same thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna go down.
Yeah, go to Peru if you're gonna do it. Do it right.
But I was there's a lot of people in Peru who are just like they're just like farmers who are like, oh yeah, no, I'm a shaman and whatever.
Yeah.
And so you're getting ripped off because you're a dumb tourist, But,
right, like they're
you didn't have this you didn't come out of there going, "Hey, I've forgiven my father for what he did to me," or any of that.
Exactly. No,
you didn't even trip hard.
I tripped for like 2 minutes, and it was cool. I'll give you that.
2 minutes? That's all.
Was maybe 10. 10. It was stupid.
Crazy. That's crazy. I heard that was like 8 hours of just.
That's why I think maybe I got like the fake shaman or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they saw you coming, dude. They saw you coming.
Mark, let's take his money.
That's it. Bells and whistles. And have you done shrooms?
I do shrooms. I like shrooms. I'll just rather do them. You know?
Yeah, and acid.
Yeah, but I just do shrooms mostly, and because I do them pretty frequently.
And this is, I don't know if you know a guy. I feel like you're the guy who knows a guy. I don't know you well at all, but I just feel like you're the guy who knows a guy for the peyote. That's what I'd like to do, peyote, especially when we get out to Skankfest in Vegas. I'd love to do that.
Well, write it down. I know people. I know a bunch of people, but I don't know if I know how to get that. That is a weird one.
There's someone. It's peyote is illegal in New York City, right? But there is a very similar cactus that's not illegal that I can grow in New York City, apparently. So someone gave me a link before for like a website that sells the seeds, and then I'd have to grow the cactus and wait 6 months, and then I got to chop up the cactus into a milkshake or something, and then I'll go fucking trip my nuts. Like, I just want to do it because they say there's like, don't they say like there's different gods of like all. They say the different hallucinogenics are different gods. So shrooms is the masculine energy, and then peyote is the female version of shrooms or something, and then DMT is I can't remember, the time energy or something. There's like different things. Like, this hippy dippy bullshit. But I want to get fucked up, so I want to do peyote and see what happens.
It might be the answer to all your problems.
Listen, it'll probably just be a fun time, right? I think, as far as I know, as far as I know, you can do like an ayahuasca retreat in the Nevada desert with some of the Cherokees or whoever the fuck live out there. And you can go spend the weekend with them in the big teepee, and they'll be banging drums, and you eat peyote, and then you're fucking looking at the stars all fucked up in the desert. That sounds like fun.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to plan that out. There's this one. We're kind of on a tangent here, but like the one is kind of like opens your heart. It's like a heart, and I think it's a cactus.
It's a hallucinogenic?
Yeah.
Opens your heart? Maybe that's the peyote one then.
And it's like this love kind of thing where it's like San Juan, Saint.
Really?
I don't remember. Yeah. They usually like you'll do it in between your ayahuasca ceremonies. You go and do this. San Pedro. Does that sound anything?
Never heard of it, no.
Okay.
It could be all the same family though, right?
It is all the saints, and you go visit them when you take these drugs.
Yeah.
I find that you can grow from taking these substances, you know, like, but sometimes it is just a good time, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I've had trips where I've grown from it, and then I've also had trips then where I've been like hoping to like grow from it, and you don't. And I don't think that's it. That's just if it happens that way, it happens that way. You shouldn't. I don't think you should be going in hoping for some grandiose moment of clarity or whatever. You should just go in to see what happens, and if it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't, at least have fun.
Yeah. The fun part is, you know, it's fun. Do you read any books about like success or anything?
No. I've read a lot of books over the years about it. I've read like Think and Grow Rich.
Boom. That's the one.
That's a classic. Napoleon Hill. Yeah. Chapter 3 or whatever, I think, is faith, because it starts off with like desire. It's like, how bad do you want it? You know? Yeah.
I love that shit.
I don't remember which. Yeah, that's just full of different anecdotes, right? And whichever one sticks to you.
Yep.
Like it's like fucking chicken soup for the soul, right? But I read that book too, actually. But
I haven't read that one.
I do remember. That's a little more gayer. But with Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, there's a story about some guy who's homeless, and then he moves and meets Thomas Edison, and he hires him as a janitor. And then from there, he pitches an invention to him, and he signs it, and then the guy becomes this, he
becomes a partner. I remember he became a partner. He's like, I don't want to work for you, I want to work with you, and all that. And then he ends up doing it. That stuck with me more than any of the other stories. I don't remember any of the other ones, but it's been a long, long time since I read it. But who's your Thomas Edison then? Who do you want to work with?
Fucking Louis J. Gomez is my Thomas Edison.
He's the shit, dude.
Louis is awesome. Yeah. No, listen, I guess I'm fucking moved to New York to pursue comedy, but those books can be good. The only problem is there's just so many different books and so many lessons and so many things. I think, and a lot of them contradict different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like Arnold Schwarzenegger's the 6 Rules of Success. Do you know that one? Do you ever listen to his speech?
Oh yeah.
It's just a speech of his, and it's the 6 Rules of Success, and it's work your butt off, know what you want to do. Yeah, break rules, give back, whatever there was. There's a few of them.
That was a good speech. Yeah.
He's a good one. Of all the people, he's a good one.
Yeah, and for like Think and Grow Rich, I know all the books. Just fucking reread Think and Grow Rich. Just reread it like a few times, because I mean, granted, I work hard and I whatever, but I kind of attribute a lot of my success to that book.
Oh wow!
Because it inspired me to think outside of the box and like believe like I could get out of this cubicle or get out of the army and do something outside of the being a cog in the system, you know, and I could make my own destiny and all that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I must reread it now. It's been a long time since I've read it. I guess I read Outliers. I don't know if that counts. Outliers is more interesting than it is a motivtional thing.
I think that counts a little bit, but I like, because I do get the motivation and the inspiration from these books, and I'll start crying when I read like whoever like just went from nothing, sacrificed everything, and like when there was no hope, and then he somehow made it because he believed. And
I know, but someone needs to write a book that says, not everyone, and just have the failures. Someone needs to let everyone know, like, just so you know, most people won't make it. I
know, right?
But like
everyone can.
Nobody who quit has ever made it, right? Didn't we say that earlier? So that's like a good thing to remember.
And most people quit, and that's one of his sayings. Like at the first sign of defeat, the first obstacle, they're like, "Oh, fuck it."
Yeah.
You know, you want it to be easy. You think you're gonna be able to walk into New York City and become the fucking selling out Madison Square Garden and shit?
Yeah, Rob, you're fucking amped. You're right. If it was fucking easy, everyone would do it. Fuck these bitches. They're pussies.
Yeah, you're sticking with it, and everyone says the whole 10-year thing is like everyone has to go through that.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Who made it except for like Chappelle or whatever?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Again, these outliers. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah. It also seems pretty obvious. Sometimes when you see the blueprints written out, it's there for every single person to.
Straight up.
I've been watching a lot now because my podcast is on YouTube. I've been watching a lot of these YouTube tutorials about the workings of it, and it's all open. Like,
yes.
I don't know if you watched the Mr. Beast.
Absolutely, that was a fucking fascinating.
Yeah, it's great. And then, all those YouTube guys, I'm watching them. Like, their content isn't exactly for me, but the world that they live in, they don't have any secrets. They don't really have any. They just tell you. They go, "This is how you do the thing."
Yeah.
And and then you watch other people's YouTube, and then they're not doing the thing that they're being told to do.
The blueprint is out there, like you said.
The blueprint's out there. You just got to look at what Schultz is doing.
Yep.
Look at like the Legion of Skanks. Look at what all these people are doing. They're all doing the same type of thing, more or less. And if you're not doing that also, I think you're probably just stupid.
Yeah, they're sitting there telling you how to do it. The blueprint is Think and Grow Rich. The blueprint for YouTube is Mr. Beast. He's sitting there telling you the thumbnails, the titles.
Yeah,
you got to do that.
Do that? Of course. Yeah. If you want, but like again, that works if it's
It's kind of corny, but
I know it's goofy as fuck, and I do them too when I post for my thumbnails too, and so like all that shit. But it's got to match though. You can't just be shocked. It's got to match the title, and then the first 30 seconds got to be the most crucial part of your entire video. All these facts are out there, No,
and I saw one of your most recent podcasts. There's like a clip, I think it was with Zach.
Yeah.
Funny, like you cut the most salacious part of the conversation, whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them right in. I'm going to start doing that more going forward too. Hopefully.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do it. You have to do it because I do it like every now and then. I'll do like one intro. Like with Louis J, I did an intro and then I haven't done one for like 3 episodes because I forgot or whatever.
I hear you. No, I understand. Yeah. It's a lot of work, but listen, I like that though. I like people telling each other how to do it because the vast majority there's an older thing of secrets, And I think with older comedians too. It was such cutthroat stuff because they couldn't make it out. There's there's a tribalism and secrets and stuff like that.
Yes.
Nowadays, everyone just shares all their information.
Yeah.
And it helps everyone because it is a rising tide, So like I'd be with my podcast, for example, I'm friends with the Are You Garbage guys, their producers. I also know Schultz and his producers. Nice. And every time we talk, we all sort of go, "Oh, did you see this? Did you see that? What do you think about this? I'm trying to do that. Oh, I like that new thing you're doing." And it's like, it's a good world to be in, whereas comedy's never like that. Comedians don't say, "Oh, I'm trying this bit." Like maybe very close, but like it's not open sourced,
Well, you got it sounds like you have like a mastermind with Schultz and the Are You Garbage guys. That's from Think and Grow Rich, the mastermind group.
Oh, is that what that is? Yeah. I need to fucking solidify myself in there more. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because you're working out ideas with I have a group of other business owners, like 5 other guys in the local area, and we meet like once a month and we just talk about whatever problems with business we're having, successes, challenge, and then
it's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And those things help too a lot when I like when people challenge, whatever you're doing, because then even if they're wrong, you've spent an hour like talking to them, and then at the end, if they even change your mind, at least then you're more in tune. I have that same group with some comedians. We try to meet up at least once a month, and then we'll talk about what we're doing and compare things. And just as long as you're even just getting into that mindset, you never know what's going to happen. Help each other.
It's usually positive.
Yeah, it is. And I love when people say, "Oh, you're doing that wrong. I wouldn't do that." And then I go, "Oh, I think I would." And then at the end of it, I've confirmed my answer, or I've learned something.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're so this firm. They're like a consultation, whatever firm. They're telling us how to improve our website, and I'm like, I don't know if I would do that. I kind of like the way it is now. They're trying to say, because we have some doctors that recommend SHEATH for their patients, and they're like, "Oh, you got to put that on the top. You got to put that up front." And I'm like, that seems corny to me, but we're gonna try like some A/B testing.
Oh yeah, what's that for? Like some sort of like rash?
That's how it started, but
Jock itch it probably helps with the jock itch, does it?
yeah,
I've had
100%.
that. I've had that before, man. It's fucking rough, that thing.
It's uncomfortable.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, jock itch. If that gets going,
SHEATH does prevent like the whole heat buildup and the sweating, but it also is for post surgery for people that get like they get their nuts snipped.
Yeah. Of course, that makes sense. Then, yeah.
I mean, that's not why we made them, but for whatever reason, that
it
seems to
work that
help.
way. Yeah,
It seems to help with that.
yeah. My friend Tim Butterly got his nuts snipped, and he was saying that's exactly how his nuts are. Like the balls and the cock is like hanging out separately, and she would work perfect for that.
We got to get him some.
Nice.
But
I hope I'm selling some.
Yeah, we got a code.
Nice.
I got a code from you, Collie, right?
Yeah.
I just saw one. I'm checking the orders constantly, and I saw one like right before we popped on, so I don't know. But yeah.
All right. We've got to up that thing. You know, when I put them on, I actually put them on inside out the first time or something. Did you hear that? I put them on inside out.
Everyone does that.
Because I was in a hurry too, and I put them on inside out, and then I was like, what the fuck? I honestly was like, this is fucking the dumbest shit.
If you're wearing it inside out, it is.
I was like, what? I couldn't even understand. And then I was like, this is fucking so stupid. And then I showed someone, and they're like, they're on inside out. I was like, all right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, what you were saying about how comedians and people are just willing to give up all their information and just tell you how to do it, like show you the plans, the blueprint.
Yeah.
The funny thing is most people won't do it even if they're told how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I agree. I'm like that all the time with comedians. Ask me, people hit me up and like, with podcasting. I have a small podcast, all things considered, but it's a lot bigger than most other people.
11,000. That's great.
Yeah, thanks. More, yeah. But people hit me up and go, I'm thinking of starting a podcast, and I go, leave me alone. I go, come back to me when you've started it. Give me 6 months, and then I can talk to you. But I'm not wasting my time when you're thinking of doing something. Just do it and then come back. That's sort of the way it is. Most people just won't do it. They won't ever get around to doing it.
Yep. I've been doing it for 4 years, dude. Like long time. Awesome. What would you recommend to someone who's been doing it for 4 years?
For your podcast? I don't know. Get bigger guests than me.
That helps.
But obviously be consistent, keep doing what you're doing. Get yourself as clear as you can. You know what I mean?
What do you mean clear? Mentally?
No, just like your equipment and all that stuff. Like what you're using a Shure, right? What camera have you got there?
A Logitech 1080K or whatever.
I've got the same. I think I've got the HD 1080. Clear you. I guess just keep doing what you're doing. Try to promote it.
Promote it on do you do TikToks and stuff?
I do not do TikToks. No, then find some Reddit threads, maybe things like that.
Reddit. I like it. Yeah.
And do you go on other people's podcasts too?
I do when I try as much as possible.
It's tough when you're in Denver,
Say that again?
I said it's tough if you're in Denver.
Yeah.
And I can only talk about from the comedy community's point of view because I'm in New York, so there's lots of places for me to jump on. But
yeah, you're getting.
But do the thing with the hook, like we were talking about earlier. Start in the middle of the interview,
right?
And then play 15 seconds of that. Then do your intro music. I think that'll help you on YouTube for sure.
I want people to sign up to your Patreon.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
Well, because you were saying you can't say all the stuff you can say on the Patreon, you can't say it on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I try to, with every Patreon episode, I try to take 5 minutes and put that on YouTube as just a little clip sample. Mm-hmm. We go. It feels like the shackles are off. So because when you're going free, you do tone it down a little bit. But then the problem is with Patreon, I feel like I'm allowed to just do whatever I want. So I go overboard. So even today I was just like, don't put any of that out. Save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, you got to check that out. I think Tim Dillon and the Tuesdays with Stories. I'm not on that many Patreons, but
no, it's a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And people jump around too. That's what I would imagine would be the best thing to do is you subscribe to, depending on how topical they are, though. You know, you subscribe to someone for 2 months, you listen to a lot of their stuff, you go to someone else 2 months, and then you go back and you can binge watch the stuff. That's like I see a lot of people I see on my Patreon they back. You know what I mean?
Smart. Get the most value out of it.
Yeah, of course. And then some people listen. If they don't support your Patreon, that doesn't mean they're not fans. You know, some people just go listen. I listen to my free stuff. It'll be a waste of my money. I'm full as it is, and I go, fair enough. You know? Yeah,
there's only so much content we can consume.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, just from the little 30 minutes that I've listened to of what you had, and I was kind of skipping around to get an idea of like who you were, because we'd never met, and I'd never seen too much about you, so I wanted to obviously get some kind of idea of who you were, and I was like, this fucking dude, you got something, you know, the itch.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
I think so.
I hope so. What I have on my Patreon is because, you know, I work for a moving company, so I do comedy at night, I'm podcasting all the time, and then in order to pay the bills to survive, I drive trucks during the day. But I have it on the Patreon is to have when we hit 1,000 Patreon subscribers, and I'll quit my job as a truck driver. So
fuck yeah,
we're gonna start really pushing that now soon enough. We just wanted to try to get the whole studio set up and things running.
I love it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah,
I think you have a good niche with just I mean, I hate to say that, but the accent helps. You already know that. It
does, for sure. It stands out. It either scares people off. I think it attracts more people than I lose, you know?
No, yeah. It's a good, it sets you apart a little bit from everyone else. And then you do the raw comedy, which is just, I can't get enough of the raw comedy, you know?
Yeah.
Just real fucked up shit. I like, you know, as much as dirty or as, you know, wrong as it can be, that's better. I like making fun of everyone but white people. LOL.
Yeah, well, they can all make fun of the white people, and we'll make fun of them. That's
exactly
fair. Right? How about that?
Hey, a little back and forth action.
Exactly.
Never hurt.
And that's how you fucking end racism. A little bit of community like that.
I agree. Yeah, let's make fun of each other.
Yeah,
and have fun.
Yeah, you know, all the jobs I've ever had have always been like low-paying manual labor jobs, and that's kind of just how people talk. Like, I work on construction sites, and you know, I've interacted with more, I guess, minorities, for lack of a better word, than any of these like woke Brooklyn comedians.
Of course.
And I'd go do these like hood rooms. I'd go up and do these hood rooms, and I'd be the only white guy there, but all the fucking liberal fucks in Brooklyn at their shows would be preaching this, that, and the other. They'd never go up there. They'd never interact with anyone else. I'm actually out there fucking meeting these people. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Georgia. These people. What do you mean these people? The fucking other, like the others that, you know, It's okay though, because I was I've been in jail. I've been in the army, and in both situations, it was weird because, like, for the most part, the blacks hung out with the blacks, the Puerto Ricans hung out with the Puerto Ricans, whites hung out with whites, and we would like obviously intermingle and whatever. It was fine, but just there's like this natural proclivity to isolate or be around people that look like you or whatever, and then but it wasn't like I hate them. It was just like, I'm hanging out with my boys over here.
Yeah, sure.
But then we'd hang out together also, and it was fine. But a lot of the people, like the woke preachers, they're like, they have very little encounters. You know, I fucking went to high school, and I went to jail, and I was in the army, and I've been around them. They're people. You know, whatever. They're not that special. They're just fucking people like we are, whatever.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah. Absolutely. Telling you, I've spent lunches on construction sites talking to people that neither of us speaking. Like, they don't speak English, and we communicate through like fucking mime. Like I've done that. I've interacted with people, whereas I don't know, people. We're probably over this whole woke fucking discussion, but like, you know, they're living in a dream world sometimes with like what they think society needs to be. Well, they're not actually doing it themselves at all, you know?
Right. Yeah. They're preaching to other people what they need to do. They're not doing it. And then we're like the bad guy, but we're fucking just guys too.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
no, I hear you.
Yeah.
I
We're
love
good.
it. Yeah, when I go to work and everyone's like, "Oh, you fucking dumb Mick," I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up, you black fuck."
And then we laugh and go to work, and there's
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all good. People like make it out to be like racism is everywhere, and it's like very isolated. So everyone, I mean, I don't know. You're white. Shut up. I'm self-censoring. You have to like. It's so.
Nah,
weird.
we did it, dude. Me and you, two white guys, we fucking solved it. We did it. We solved racism.
Everyone just laugh together. That'll solve a lot of shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And some colors laugh more than others, but that's okay. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah. Get a sense of humor and enjoy the world and make fun of it. It's not so fucking serious. It's all good. Well, so I really want everyone to find your channel. It's just Colum Tyrrell, and you find him on Patreon. Do you have any on like Instagram and whatever?
Yeah, just every social media at Colum Tyrrell, COLUMTYRRELL, and then you'll find me everywhere. Yeah, and keep an eye out for me on the road. I got dates coming up, and I'm coming to San Antonio actually.
Are you
out there? Yeah, at the end of the month.
Okay, I'm actually in Colorado, but my team is in San Antonio.
I know. Yeah, we're going there on the Labor Day. So that's May 29th, I think.
Hell yeah.
We're going to be in San Antonio. So we got Houston back at the Secret Group where Skankfest was.
Yep.
Then we're going to be in Cap City in Austin. Then we're going to do San Antonio. So that'll be an interesting trip.
I think you'll kill it. I think you'll do it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, hit me up. We can get your...
Okay. Yeah, I would love to come back.
I'll give you a promo code for the tickets in San Antonio. How about that?
Perfect. I won't be there probably, but if I'm in town,
send it to your friends.
I will. Okay.
I'll give you one of those hats. I like that hat, dude.
I wrote myself a note. I'm gonna send you a hat, absolutely. And you got underwear and shirts and stuff?
Yeah. I got the underwear. I got the shirts.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a hat. Everyone else, you can get this hat at sheathunderwear.com. It'll be up in a couple. By the time this airs, this is going to air, I think, next Monday. Okay. So it should be available on the site. You can get it there. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, man. I'm not a buy Think and Grow Rich again. I'm going to get back in and read that again.
I think.
Remind me.
Yeah, it won't hurt. It's good to reread it, and it's inspirational. It's like my Bible, you know?
Yeah, good. I'm feeling pumped, dude, after this. I forgot. Yeah, you got me amped up to fucking succeed. Let's do it.
You can do it. You're the man.
Raring to go now.
All right. Well, you go kill it, and then we're gonna be paying attention. Okay.
All right, brother. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Colum. Bye, everyone.
Take it easy.
All right. Bye. Well, how about that? We just had the up and coming comedian from New York City, out of Ireland, Colum Tyrrell. His podcast and YouTube channel is hilarious. He is a great guy. He's on our side of like optimism and being successful and paying your fucking dues to the, sacrificing 10 years he's been putting towards comedy, and he's just now making it. That's the kind of dedication you need to be successful. If you think you're going to get it overnight, you're delusional. Just stick to the plan, stick to the blueprint. It's all laid out there. We talk about Think and Grow Rich. We talk about the rules. They're already out there. You just have to do it. So watch this video. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting. If you have any suggestions, I would appreciate them. Any critiques, let me know what I can do better or worse. I appreciate getting these broom handles out of here or something. Thank you again. We'll be back next week. Go to sheathunderwear.com, use promo code RPG. You can save 20% off any item. And you'll thank me later. You're welcome. We'll see you next week.